So team, the ball has been set rolling and we are moving towards building the better software products. Now, up till now, we have created the requirements which we have collected from customer. So our job was capturing the requirements. Now once we have got the requirements, how we should start building them? For that we need to prioritize the requirements, and Kano model is going to help us in doing so. Now if we have hundreds of requirements to build, which one to build first? How we are going to decide it? So for that, this Kano model is going to help us. A product or service will only be successful if it effectively solves one or more important customer problems. Very true? Yes, customer satisfaction is what success to us is. So, the Kano model is theory of product development and customer satisfaction, which was developed in early 1980s by Noriaki Kano, who is professor of the University of Tokyo and creator of this Kano model. This Kano model classifies customer preferences into different categories. Now we know with those hundreds of requirements, we need to see which one to build first, which one to give less importance, or which are of highest importance to customers. So, the Kano model is an insightful way of understanding, categorizing, and prioritizing 5 types of customer requirements, which are the potential features for new products and services. So, what are those 5 categories? So, there are 3 categories which comes to features to be included and 2 in features to be avoided. So, 3 categories are basic, performance and excitement, and features to be avoided has 2 sets of categories as indifferent and dissatisfaction. Now before we head towards understanding these prioritizing technique, we have to understand why we are doing it so. Our whole purpose lies in satisfying the customer. But along with that, we need to also see whether we have investment needed to implement them. So if we can strike the balance between two, then yes, of course, we should always try to keep and satisfy our customers happy. So the Kano model works this way. It has got this satisfaction axis. So we can range from very low customer satisfaction to very high customer satisfaction, and we have got this horizontal axis which is about achievement. So this achievement axis also leads from very low execution to very high execution. So the requirements, if I place them here, how it will work? So execution is very low and customer satisfaction is also very low. So if the requirement lies here, then we cannot achieve customer satisfaction if their execution didn't do it well. Now if we talk about this quadrant, then execution is very high. It means we have implemented the requirements well. Then we should expect customer satisfaction to be very high. Similarly, for these 2 quadrants it will go. I hope you have understood it. So now we will understand what are those 3 basic requirements which we had to have to satisfy the customer. The first set of requirements are called as performance requirements, normal quality requirements, or one-dimensional requirements. So Dr. Noriaki described this type of feature as one-dimensional because, as you can see, there is direct linear correlation between how much you invest in them and the amount of customer satisfaction it delivers. So one example would be increasing file storage capacity in an online app. So these are the features which customer know that they want and weigh heavily when deciding whether to choose your product or your competitors. So if we have got requirements which we have categorized after analyzing customers' requirements, and if they fall under this performance category, we have to implement them. The second set of requirements are expected quality requirements or must-be's, or they are also called as basic requirements. So these are the feature your product needs to be competitive. it has to be there. Customers expect these features such as a car's turn signal and take them for granted. They want that it has to be there, but it does. Their implementation does not lead to customer satisfaction, but they are the basic requirements of the system. This means they must be included, and if they don't work as expected, they may lead to dissatisfaction of the customer, as you can see it. Okay. The next set of requirements are excitement quality requirements. So, these features yield a disproportionate increase in customer delight as you invest in them. If you don't have these features, customers might not even miss them. But if you include them and continue to invest in them, you will create dramatic customer delight. As you can see here, if they are not executed, it is not going to lead to dissatisfaction. Customer may not even notice it. But as you start investing them, customers' satisfaction level increases to very high. Now you can think of these features as the unique innovations and surprises you include in your product. So Dr. Noriaki called these as attractive features or delighters because they had the effect on users, and that delight can create an outsized positive response to your product. So we have seen these three categories where we wanted these features to be added. The first one was performance, the next one was basic, and the third one was excitement. Now we have to also talk about features which should not be added. So there are two sets of categories here. The first one is indifferent requirements. So even if you execute them or you do not execute them, there is no difference which is created for the customer. So these features that don't affect the degree of user satisfaction and with performance, whether present or not. So they are not going to affect customers. So why should we add them? And the next set is reverse requirements. So in this case, their existence is perceived negatively by customers. So they have a reverse effect on customer satisfaction. So it's better we should not include them in our implementation. In short, now we would say these are the requirements which we want to add: basic, performance, and excitement. Now, when we should use Kano model? When we have limited time, limited resources, minimum features are expected to be added so that we can build the first increment. Wow features we are expecting in it, and performance enhancing features we want to add in it. So, whenever we have got those hundreds of requirements together and we have limited time and resources to start up, at that moment of time we should use Kano model. So it helps in minimizing the features, it helps to add wow features, and it helps to add the performance enhancing features in the requirement building. Now, to conclude, I would say the Kano model is a useful framework for product teams looking for a systematic approach to feature prioritization. It helps teams that are interested in prioritizing functionalities they believe will delight the customers. And it is all about customer satisfaction. The great thing about Kano model is it continues to be essential tool even today, irrespective of industry or size of the product. So you don't assume that Kano model is applicable only to softwares. It is applicable to any field, any thing where we are considering manufacturing something, keeping customers in front of us. All those industries are applying Kano model. So, a Kano analysis or survey is designed to determine which classification a need falls under to help prioritize the needs. Now, here I am adding the steps so that in our next session we would have the detailed analysis of set of requirements so that you actually get insight into how Kano model works. So what we have to do is identify customers, determine their requirements, and develop a functional or non-functional questionnaire for each of the needs or attributes which we want to build. Test and administer the questionnaire. tabulate and analyze the results, and decide how to act on those results. So following these steps, we are going to build the set of requirements which are categorized into 5 categories. The first one, performance; the second one, basic; the third one, excitement; the fourth one, indifferent; and the fifth one, reverse. So once we categorize it, we would understand in our first increment which requirements we are going to add. So these are the references, and thank you. See you in the next session where we are going to see how it really works. Thank you.